commentate on it, Sean Mathers. Sean, a warm welcome. Thank you very much indeed. And as to our left, the Spirit of Great Britain, the lovely, gorgeous shape of the Avro Vulcan, just waiting to take off. Take off from the left to right, and then she'll turn away and come back into her I'm really not quite sure what causes that, I don't think anybody is, but it's something to do with the aerodynamics of the engine intakes. Doesn't always happen, it depends on the weather and the humidity and all sorts of other things. And the unique sound there of 4 Rolls-Royce Bristol Olympus 202 engines, each producing roughly 16,500 pounds of static thrust, 65,000 pounds in total. And of course, a sporting takeoff from the Vulcan. She's much lighter than she was when she was in operational service, had lots of operational equipment removed. Also, she doesn't have 2 slouch navigators down the back, which always helps reduce the weight. She has just 3 crew. The captain and flying today is Bill Ramsey. The co-captain is Martin Withers. Martin Withers, who flew the Vulcan down to the Falkland Islands and back in 1982. And the air electronics operator, Phil Davies, in the back of the aircraft, managing the complicated electrics of this aeroplane. He's on day release from Cemex ES, so we're grateful to them for letting him go to join in the team today. The display will start with Vulcan coming back towards us on the so-called B axis, at right angles to the main display axis, and we'll take it from there. She's proved herself the single most popular aeroplane in the country. She's the people's aeroplane. And she is, of course, held in trust for the nation. She's not owned by the Royal Air Force. She's not paid for by the Ministry of Defence. She's paid for solely by the great British people and the aviation industry. She's cost something like £20 million to get to this stage so far. And you, wonderful people, have been immensely generous in contributing a significant proportion of that money. Spirited wing over there from Bill Ramsey. So this aircraft was first of all thought of, the Vulcan, immediately after the war. The wonderful Roy Chadwick designed the Lancaster. Drew on a stuffy piece of paper which still exists, a shape which is recognisable as Vulcan in 1946. Now that was only 5 years after the Lancaster first flew, which is quite extraordinary because when you look at this aircraft and you compare it to the Lancaster, they might have come from different centuries. She first flew in 1952, so that was only 11 years after the Lancaster first flew. So last year, we were celebrating the Diamond Jubilee of the first flight of Vulcan, along with, of course, Her Majesty's Diamond Jubilee. And every time she flew last year, we had permission to say that it was in celebration of Her Majesty's Diamond Jubilee. Engines producing quite a lot of unburned fuel out of the back. It comes back towards us. And if you look at the underside of the aircraft, I think you'll see the bomb bay doors opening shortly, and there they go now. That's the bomb bay that carried 21 1,000-pound bombs all the way to the Falkland Islands and dropped them on Port Stanley runway, even with 2 of them. That was about half the course for a non-directed, non-smart bomb at the time, so it did the job that was required of it. What does the Bombay have in it now? Well, it has the names of lots of people who've sponsored their name to be in the Bombay. So if you would like to have your name flying in this magnificent aeroplane, you should go down to the Vulcan village at the far right-hand end, which is where Vulcan will be parked again when she lands back at the end of her display. So go down and see them down there. You can sponsor, have your name in the Bombay as she comes back. This time I expect to see the Bombay closing. You've got very good binoculars, so I'll go read your name in there. Bombay closing now. Over to the western line. I was saying that after she left the Royal Air Force in 1993, nobody thought that the Vulcan would ever fly again. Because the wonderful Walton family bought the last one, this aircraft, the last one in RIAT service, and looked after her until along came Dr. Robert Fleming, who started up Vulcan to the Sky Trust, which is the charity that still runs her to this day. She was helped by a 2.7 million Heritage Lottery grant. They refused it the first time round. They said, we don't do things that move. The second time round, they gave the money, and since then it's cost another 60-70 million pounds to get into the state. Lots of help from very generous donors, including lots of people here. And people like Sir Jack Hayward and the enormous generosity of Eddie Forrester and Aeroflights. Big support from the Civil Aviation Authority and many other companies, AD Holdings, BAE Systems, Beagle Technology, Cranfield Aerospace, Goodrich, Beardsley Airways, Meggitt, Messier Dowchin, Rolls-Royce and Serco, and of course, as you may have seen, of EADS, great help from them. Marshall Aerospace and the Engineering Authority, they have of course had to satisfy the Civil Aviation Authority that they have all the necessary capabilities and experience to be the authority for this globally unique restoration of the military aircraft. Marshall Aerospace has been there for Vulcan doing this essential work since 1999. But despite all that help, it's still costing £2 million a year to run the whole shebang. So the charity has to raise £38,500 every week. Completing a spiral climb, and then he'll spiral back down again. Much of the fundraising that I was talking about just now is done by the Vulcan to the Sky Club, one of the biggest aviation restoration clubs in the business. If you want to join, they'd be very happy to have you. So perhaps you should get to the Vulcan village when she's finished her display and join the Vulcan to the Sky Club. She now lives, this magnificent aeroplane, in what used to be RAF Fittingley. It's actually based there between 1960 and 1968. But it's now snappily known as Robin Hood Airport, Doncaster, Sheffield. She lives in a sumptuous hangar there, and she takes visitors. You can go and see her when she's not flying. They'll be very happy to welcome you at Robin Hood Airport, Doncaster, Sheffield. It's easier to call it Fittingley. See, we've got the wheels down now. I don't think that means she's landing straight away, but we shall see another slow fly past. You'll be able to check on the colour scheme. She has the Lincoln coat of arms on the tail fin, representing, of course, Lincolnshire, being the bomber alley of the Royal Air Force. She also has the Panther's head of number 1 group of Bomber Command on the nose, because she does represent all the Vulcan squadrons in the 1970s. 9, 12, 27, 35, 44, 50, 83, 101, and of course 617. We're having a special celebration of 617 later today. I should say somebody who's not on board today is Kevin Tapstone, the crew chief and the chief engineer. He always says 558 XH, 558 this aeroplane is 580. I was questioned the other day as to why I always refer to her as she. Well, Tap put it quite nicely, said she's definitely female. She is very high maintenance. And as she goes away, you get an idea of how slim she is in cross-section. Just a reminder, that's not Kev doing that, that's Bill Ramsey, bless him. So I think that's almost the end of the display. I know that the Vulcan to the Sky Trust would really love to see you down at the Vulcan Village, down at the right-hand end, quite close to where she parks. Later this afternoon you may be able to get a tour around under the wing of the aircraft, a guided tour, where people will tell you a lot about her. That all takes place down at the Vulcan Village. That of course depends on other aircraft movements, and we're hoping to do that this afternoon. If you're not going to go down to the village, the website is vulcantothesky.org, vulcantothesky.org. You could even contribute money this very moment by getting out your mobile and sending a text. You text the words, the letters and figures, bulk 133, BULC 133, to the number 700 767 0070. So text bulk 133, BULC 133 to the number 70070. It will cost you £3. You have to have permission obviously first to pay bills. All of that £3 will go to the Vulcan to the Sky Trust. And they'll contact you and say thank you, and enable you to use Gift Aid. As she comes in for her final approach, pass to the left. Because this is a very long runway here, I doubt that we will see the braking parachute, which is rather a shame, it doesn't make anything to see, but you don't need it on this nice long runway. But as I suspect we will see Bill keeping the nose wheel up for as long as he can, allowing the great size of those Delta wings to pick the oncoming airflow and slow them down, without following the brakes very much. 16 main wheels. I can see they're just touching down now. So, once more, thank you to everybody who has supported this magnificent aeroplane. We're immensely proud to be able to continue to display her in front of you. We did think she was going to be here last year, and there's something called Operation 2015 to say, well, we goes on flying until the end of